Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Authentici-Tea with Jera, and actually my assistant Huck, who's going to stay over there where he's not a crazy dog, because otherwise he'll be a crazy dog and this won't work. Good morning and welcome, and if you're tuning in live, thank you for being here, and if you're watching this later, thank you for watching. Authenticity is such an important skill and an important thing to cultivate in our lives, and I'm so glad that we're all taking it seriously. So as you may have read, actually backing up, I look a little funky and not well put together today. I'm feeling a little sick. So I'm still here. I still want to be here. I'm very committed to making this happen every day. Hi, Heather. My roommate is actually here, so she's hearing me from the other room and watching me. Hi, honey. So I don't feel very good. I'm a little under the weather, but I'm still here. I want to be here and do this with you guys. But the topic today is about creating value-based holidays, because tomorrow is the American holiday of Thanksgiving, and we have several coming up. We have Hanukkah, Ramadan, Christmas, just so many things coming up, and I wanted to speak a little bit to that, because holidays and families, both, and typically both together, are a way that sometimes we lose our authenticity, because there's sort of a contractual idea around family that if the family does something, then it gets passed down, and then in order to be accepted, in order to be okay, you've got to carry on those traditions and do it like your parents did it or your grandparents did it. And this can really lock us into, thank you, Heather. Yule's also coming. That's what I celebrate. This idea of like generational, contractual traditions being carried out can really dampen a lot of people's belief systems, like internal, authentic belief systems. So I know for me, Christmas was always a really big deal for my family, for my foster family that I was a part of for many years. And I know that when my mom got sick several years ago and has been terminally sick since, and I essentially lost her several years ago. And when I did that, I was worried. I had a couple years of being like, do I carry on these traditions, these Christmas traditions that for me feel very consumeristic, or do I create something new? And so my mom's voice in my head and my own internal voice kind of battled for a couple of years. And I finally came down to the point of, like, my mom really would want me to be happy, and her own judgments about what that means are really not mine. Even if I miss her to death and I wish she was here, like, it's not my responsibility to do anything but be authentic to me and being kind and loving to the world. And so I changed the way that I celebrated, which is just a huge deal. And I went from a Christmas model to a Yule model. And so the reason I bring this up is as we move into Thanksgiving, there are some issues that are coming up around our country that I feel like may change our idea of what Thanksgiving means. And I want to promote the ability for everybody to be able to celebrate holidays in the way that feels really good for them. Hold on one second. Okay. Stop it. Sorry, hold on. Stop. Hooker's decided that this is his bath time. So that's fun. So if you hear a dog licking in the background, I am so sorry. That is just what it is. But so as we come up on Thanksgiving, I know for me, I've struggled with Thanksgiving for a couple of years now, because when No DAPL happened, I became extremely involved in Indigenous rights. And this is for a couple of reasons. I myself am a large fraction Indigenous. I have Blackfoot heritage. And also, Indigenous people used to be all over the United States. Like, that's the people who lived here several hundred years ago. And now they are quarantined to these tiny little reservations in tiny little spots all over the United States. So for me, the celebration of Thanksgiving without also giving voice to the way that Indigenous peoples have been treated, to their reality, to the essentially genocide that happened to many tribes across the United States, it feels incredibly, incredibly disintegrous to me. So it's been a struggle because nobody wants to invite that person to Thanksgiving. Nobody wants to invite that person who's going to be like, well, you guys, let's pay attention to the things that really kind of suck about this. And so that's sort of yicky sticky, right? But I think that when we cultivate our ideas about what's important to us, our values, we can kind of dial into what's going to make us most happy. Yeah, I'm not going to get invited to all of the Thanksgiving parties or all of the Christmas parties that are happening in this area. But that's okay, because if I went to a Thanksgiving event or a Christmas event or whatever that didn't reflect my values, then I'm going to be miserable. Like, I may be around the people that I care about, but my internal experience is going to be pretty gross. So by being outspoken, by being able to share what's authentic for me with the people that I care about, I can make sure that wherever I am feels good to me, so I can continue my my authentic self, my effectiveness for myself and the people around me. So let's take that to out of Jera like experience space and into like real, how does this actually work space. And when we're looking at having an authentic life, the main thing we need to look at is our values. What is it that's really important to us? Where are our passions? Where are the things that light us on fire, the things that feel clear and flowing for us? What are those values? For me, they're integrity, communication, compassion, empathy, love. These are the values that I have. And so when I'm looking at moving forward to celebrating a holiday like Thanksgiving, like Yule, like Christmas, what I'm looking at is, how do I engage with those holidays in a way that still supports my value system? So tomorrow, my roommates and I are going to have a Thanksgiving feast, and I still feel a little bit confused about that, but what I will bring to this space is awareness, like I said, of Indigenous peoples, and being incredibly deeply thankful and grateful for them putting up with us essentially at this point. And also taking responsibility for what my forefathers did to their forefathers, and just giving that voice. I don't have to, whip myself with a whip in order to be sorry, in order to show that it's this, in order to show that I am feeling for Indigenous peoples. Just giving a voice to the struggles, just giving a voice to the reality of what's happened is enough on a basic level. And so that's what I want to bring into my Thanksgiving, is this awareness of what had to be given up in order for us to all have what we have now, and that there's still people who don't have the same as everybody else has, right? Is that we're all equal, but some are more equal than others. And I want to bring that awareness to Thanksgiving. And as we move into the other holidays, Christmas, Yule, Hanukkah, our culture has become very consumeristic around these holidays. They're essentially selling the holiday to us. And so how do we feel about that? Are we willing to engage in a consumeristic culture, knowing that plastics clog our oceans and that, oil is damaging our earth with fracking, and that our children are getting this idea passed down to them of consumerism? Is that what we want? Or is there something that is better? And what does that look like? And where can we go to see what other options are out there? I think that as a culture, we've gotten really into, oh, well, I don't like it, but there's nothing I can do about it. And I think that that's ignorant. I think it's willfully ignorant. And I don't have a lot of patience for willful ignorance, because there's Google and there are many, many, many books written about, every topic you can think about. So there are resources out there to go to. There are people out there to go to for input. And this is all available to us, especially to people who identify as white. during holidays like Thanksgiving. These are all available to us, and we have the responsibility to educate ourselves. We are not isolated individuals. We are a connected human body, and the actions that we take, whether we're aware of them or not, have an impact on the human body, to the whole human body. And this idea of separation and of total independence from each other is just an illusion. So in what ways can we form value-based holidays that may follow the traditions of our family, but they may branch off from the traditions of our family? And how does it feel to do that? So I hope to co-create value-based holidays with all of you, and I would love to hear how you are celebrating different holidays in ways that may buck the system, or in ways that may be different from your family and how they celebrated. And how does it, I want to hear from you. How are you bringing your values into the holiday? So, all right. I think that's it for now. I guess we will definitely talk tomorrow. Tomorrow's topic will be on privilege, and we'll discuss that more tomorrow. But until then, stay authentic, everybody. Thank you.